Hi, you're watching Breaking Bricks. I'm your host, Neil. This is week 5 of my Sith Temple on Malacore build. Yeah, we've got the inner support we need to do on the first level. We've got a lot of work to do on that, and as soon as we can get that on, we can start putting on the top deck and start working on the second deck. I am only going to be taking this up to 3 decks completely, just because, you know, I really don't have enough brick for 5, but it will look good in the end. I guarantee you that. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get to it. All right, my friends, welcome back. We're going to continue working on the temple here. So we've kind of got the outside kind of going how we want it to go. We got our main 4 support walls in place. They're not quite built up to where they need to be because I want to use those walls as anchor points for the rest of the support. On top of that, we have to also put in another support wall in this section here, because this is the only section that doesn't have a support wall. We have this section here, which has that support wall, this section there that has that one, this section here in the middle that has that, but it also has the geyser, and then this section here which has this one. That one out there doesn't need one.
Alright, so this one here, we're going to start in this corner here. We're going to get the substructure together. We know exactly how wide, what the spread's going to be from the panel work we did earlier. Now I cannot mount it to the support wall. That entrance there, that's right in front of it, because that's in a completely different section. So we're going to make sure that this section here is going to be strong, just straight up strong. Sometimes I can be over redundant with spacing pieces, especially when I'm just getting started on a substructure, because I'm just kind of playing with the pieces that I have at the time. As you can see, we're keeping blacks in the corners. Now I really like the 1x16 Technic beam. I can use that in so many ways. I probably have about 100 of them right now. I could probably use about another 100, maybe a few more, especially when you're building large like this, because they just support without having all the brick underneath. Alright, so we're starting to encircle the geyser. We definitely want to keep in mind that when we put this in here, that this geyser is going to heat up. So we've got to keep that in mind, so we don't want the brick to really touch. I have it kind of set in a nook. And I'm hoping to show this build off a few times, so I'm going to have to build in an access panel so I can get to refilling the geyser when I need to. Alright, now this side here will not connect to the back, but it will connect to the side wall here. Yeah, I don't mind putting in a little extra brick in here because I know it's going to hold up. It's not going to move as much. Now to build this as one big piece, I would use a lot less brick. But because this breaks down into 6 sections, that's a lot of brick. Each section has to support its own weight. So as you can see, it's just filling in now. I'm using any kind of spare brick that I have that I'm not planning on using. And then I'm just going to go from there. So much support work. Now, putting all this in does get a little monotonous. It will drive you crazy. You have to take breaks. And all I'm doing is moving from one section to the next, working on that section, then moving on to the next. And trying to keep memory of where my break sections are.
All right, my friends, we've taken it as far as we're going to take it this week. We've gotten some of the infrastructure in place. We've got something solid. I can take it apart. I can move it, and that's the whole point. So we're going to continue on with the infrastructure next week so we can finish bracing up these walls. We're also going to start getting this together in here. So next week we're going to start by fueling the smoke machine and give it a good test before we get going, just to make sure it works before I bury it in here. Because now's the time to know if it's going to work or not, because once it's in there, it's in there. So yeah, so if it doesn't work, now's the time to replace it. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what we got done. All right, as you can see here, this one section right here that I'm touching is the one little section that's kind of off by itself. It's actually connected to this front plate here. Two sections make one section. So this has to be solid in its own right, because the other sections all have a founding wall to build into. And that's what we're going to work on next. We're also going to get this smoke machine taken care of and start working in that area. And as you can see, we've got our LED wires and everything else ran through here. Now, it might seem like I'm over redundant, but like I said, these things come apart. They have to be. And we still got this section over here to finish. Well, my friends, if you like what you saw here today, go ahead and hit the like button. It lets me know I did a good job and suggest this kind of content to anybody out there that might be into it. Hey, you got a good idea for a build, go ahead and let me know. Put it down in the comments below. Just want to talk Lego, whatever, just put it down in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And of course, we cannot grow here as a family unless you hit that subscribe button. It takes you a mere half a second, but for me, it really does mean an awful lot. And I will see you here next time on Breaking Bricks.